Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's Spider video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days. For today's Spider video, day 10 will take us to the 8th of September. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with GFS and Ensembles. Pretty much around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and that gets us into the latter stages of September actually. So I'll get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we've also released the EC 30-day/42 day extended European outlook. Check out those two bids if you'd like to do that. Like, share, and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Because we have a day off. Yes, well, I have the day off. It wasn't we, it was me. I had the day off yesterday. So we didn't do a 10 to 14 day. So we've got to catch up and see how things are progressing. And we're going to start off in the tropical Atlantic. I hope you all enjoyed the, let me just quick put my webcam back on. Hope you all enjoyed the historic video, by the way. Great feedback on that. I think it went down really well, looking at the brutally cold winter and January of 1881. So if you did not see that yesterday, it's on the channel. You can watch it on demand whenever you want, and it's a really, really interesting historic weather video. It's around 50 minutes long. So it's a proper epic. But yes, so it's there for you to watch whenever you want. And just say as well, on Sunday, we will be starting winter update season again. So, first winter update for 2023-24 is going to be released at 2 PM on Sunday afternoon as a premiere. So, for the first update, we're going to premiere that. As I say, it'll be 2 PM here on the channel, and we'll be able to watch it together. I'll be in live chat with you all, and we'll watch that together. And then after that, the rest of the winter updates will be released as just regular video uploads at 10 AM as usual. But for the first one, we are going to do a premiere. So get your glad rags ready, get your suit, you know, air dried or whatever they do with it, and I'll see you on the red carpet maybe on Sunday afternoon. Right, now we will crack on with the video. So here we go then. We're going to start with tropical Atlantic, loads of interest areas. So we've got a yellow X just here. That is disturbance 2, with a 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 days, and a 50% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days. That's one to keep an eye on in the longer term. We've also got disturbance 1, which is given a 50% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 and 7 days. So that's another one to keep an eye on. We have got Franklin just here, Hurricane Franklin, currently giving maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 941 millibars, moving north-northeast at 9 miles per hour. Clicking on Franklin, and going here first of all. No, you want to go go there. We can see that this major hurricane is going to continue to move to the north of the Bermuda Islands. Tomorrow it will go down to a Category 2 hurricane. It'll carry on moving out into the cooler waters of the North Atlantic, where it will go post-tropical by the time we get into the weekend. So we go to discussion. We can see that it's about as strong as it's going to get. So it's going to go to around 140 mile an hour maximum sustained winds, which is a pretty high-end Category 4 hurricane. That is a really, really powerful storm. And it's you know, good job that that's not impacting any sort of land area, but it's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. But it's a very, very powerful storm that we've got going on there with Franklin. About as strong as it's going to get in the next 12 hours, and then it will gradually weaken until it finally goes post-tropical as we get into the weekend, and it will be absorbed by low pressure. Now, I've also got a dahlia just here. I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm not sure whether that's a dahlia or a dahlia, but I think it's a dahlia. So, currently that's a Category 1 hurricane, giving maximum sustained winds of 80 miles per hour. If we click on Anomalies go here. You can see this is predicted to become a major hurricane off the coast of Florida by tomorrow. It's moving quite quickly. And it's going to give a direct hit to the Florida Panhandle around here through the course of Wednesday, and then move northwards into Georgia as a weaker hurricane, tropical storm, and then out into the North Atlantic. Interestingly, it's still in business into the weekend when it's back out into the Atlantic again. So, you know, it's between America and Bermuda by then, and whether it will power up again as it gets back out into the Atlantic. Be interesting to see what happens with Adalia. But at the moment, the focus is going to be on Florida, because it does look as though this is going to be quite a significant storm that's going to be hitting Florida. Eventually, it gets to 120 mile an hour maximum sustained. I think that's Category 3 hurricane. You know, but it's a major hurricane. And yes, so anybody in Florida going to need to take care if they're on that eastern side of the Panhandle and whatnot, or west side, I should say, of the Panhandle. And of course, we will keep you posted on all of this here at GavsWeatherVids. Central temperature is currently sitting at 16.7, which is 0.9 of a degree above 61.990 average. That visual to yesterday, to the 28th of August. I would suspect that's going to tick down a little bit more. So I'd imagine by the time we get through to month's end, that could be sitting at 16.5. It'd be interesting to see where that comes in over the next couple of days. These are the GFS upper temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're at London today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off below average at the moment. We haven't seen those upper air temperature lifting up through the first week of September. So yes, we could well be in for a typically warm and drier start to the first week of September. How long any area of high pressure lasts for is a little bit open to question, but it does look as though we have firmed up over the bank holiday weekend on increasingly anticyclonic influences actually for the first week of September. More about that when we go for chart data in a moment. Precipitation wise, I've got some more showery bursts to come over the next few days. Things will go drier for a few days in the opening phase of September, possibly a little bit showery again as we come towards the end of the first week and on towards the second week of the month. Temperature anomalies on the 29th of August, 6th of September, near normal. Not a particularly big deviation either way, to be honest. And precipitation anomalies from the 29th of August, 6th of September. Most places coming out drier than average. Related with a map from earthnullschool.net shows that we've got low pressure sitting to our north, and we're bringing in something of a northwesterly flow today. That is feeding in quite a lot of cloud with it. Right, so let's start going through chart data then. This is how the latest UK Met Euro run looks for midnight on Friday, which is the 1st of September, first day of September, and first day of meteorological autumn. Of course, we've got a trough of low pressure sitting close to the country at that point. The trough gets out of the way as you move into Saturday with a ridge building to our north and west, and high pressure takes over through the weekend and on into next week. A large area of high pressure. Look at that. I haven't seen one of those since June. So we get into meteorological autumn, get into September, and what do you know? Back comes the high pressure, and it happens so many times, doesn't it? So many years that we get into September, and back comes the high pressure. Now, our autumn forecast has gone for quite a wet September, particularly so for more southern areas, actually, as low pressure, you know, comes in from the south. Warm September, yes, but also gone for quite a wet September. So if that high pressure is just going to stick around the country, as it can do in September, you know, September can be one of those months when high pressure gets going, just sticks around, then already, it's only been out for a couple of days, and already the GavsWeatherVids autumn forecast could be in deep trouble. But I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say too much about that at the moment. But we'll see how it goes. you know, we'll see how it goes. Sometimes it only takes like the remains of a hurricane or something to blast these high pressures away. But I have to say that does look quite a strong and stable high, doesn't it? Anyway, we'll see. I shan't worry about the autumn forecast 2 days after issuing it. But it was quite surprising for us. If you haven't seen the autumn forecast yet, do check it out. You know, the way the analogues came out, and particularly our leading year, was a bit of a shocker. So yes, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, moving on. Icon once more for Friday. Trough of low pressure bringing further showery conditions over the weekend. That gets out of the way, and a large ridge of high pressure takes over across the north and west Europe, bringing loads of dry, fine and warm weather with it. By the beginning of next week, just signs of a thundery low starting to try and move up from the south, and some lower pressure way to the northwest as well. It's just a general sort of weakening of pressure really as we get into the beginning of next week with that thundery low. The GFS midnight run, again, with a trough of low pressure close to the potential open country on Friday through the weekend. High pressure takes over, brings lots of dry, fine and potentially quite warm weather with it. That carries on into early next week before maybe signs a bit of a trough trying to push up from the south. That doesn't come off though, and the high pressure actually is maintained. Look at this big area of high pressure at day 10, 1030 millibars. Winds are in from an easterly direction, so that should be pleasantly warm. Won't be a heat wave, but it should be pleasantly warm. And, you know, lots of dry weather with that as well. Now, as we get towards the very end of the GFS midnight run, it looks as though then the high pressure is weakening and lower pressure starting to come in from the south and the west. That's more like the kind of setup that, you know, I'm expecting for September with our autumn forecast. That could bring some quite wet weather to southern and western areas. Warm, but also with temperatures, you know, winds coming in from the south and from the southeast. So should be relatively warm, but more unsettled and wetter and whatnot. So the autumn forecast might not be in too much trouble. One dry first week of the month might not, you know, be too bad. GFS 6Z, again, looking rather showery across the country on Friday, but high pressure builds strongly through the weekend into the early part of next week. High pressure just out to our west a little bit, allowing more of an Atlantic flow in. That probably brings more cloud with it, if anything, but should again be mostly dry. And up to day 10, that area of high pressure, again, it's maintained sitting right over top of the coast, with lots of dry, fine and warm weather. And that goes on into the extended range as well, with the GFS 6 all the way to the end of it, 14th of September. It's just high pressure fest, really. I say that is how September can be sometimes. It can be one of those months when high pressure gets going that, you know, it's just a case of rinse, repeat with it. So, right up to the 14th September, mid-month, high pressure is dominating. If you enjoy the video, please do like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. We need to put on around 8 subscribers, 7 or 8 subscribers, that's all, to get ourselves to 16.7k. We are so close to 16.7k now. So please give us a sub, and we thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for us. GM, again, looks rather showery on Friday with that low, and then the high pressure comes in through the weekend and is maintained into next week. Next week looks mostly dry. Summer comes back through next week with that. By day 10, just signs of pressure beginning to weaken to both west and the south, might allow some thundery rain into more southern and western regions as high pressure goes up towards Scandinavia. But as I say, the upper air temperatures look very pleasant really there through next week. So the plus 10 cells, I suppose, widely through the country. I reckon that will get the temperature to the low to mid-20s Celsius at least. So, you know, summer properly back in business next week after being absent since the end of June. Really, summer comes back for the beginning of meteorological autumn. And as I say, it happens so many times that it works out like that. ECM, again, looks rather showery across the country on Friday into the weekend. High pressure builds strongly through the country. That area of high pressure carries on into the early part of next week, is maintained all the way up to day 10. Lots of dry, fine, and very warm weather with that. This is the precipitation forecast based on the Chevron from Meteorological. So until we get to the end of the week, we are looking at further showery bursts to come. But as we get into the weekend, then the trend is to dry weather, and that dry weather maintained then through to next week as well. Get your Barbies ready, everyone. Right, these are the ups on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 8th of September. 16 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure over to the northern country, so mostly dry and warm with that. 11 with low pressure out to west, bringing rather showery conditions from off the Atlantic. Another 11 with high pressure between Iceland and Scandinavia, and winds coming in from the east. We've got 9 again with high pressure to the north, probably some sort of trough through here, could be a little bit on the showery side. And we've got 4 with low pressure to the northeast, high pressure over the side to west. That should be mostly dry. Most of the options there seem to be involving high pressure in some form or another. So, yeah, you know, a bit of a high pressure fest. And in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets to the 13th of September. 24 members of the ECM ensembles, including control and the operation row with high pressure from the Atlantic into Northern Europe. Winds in from the east. That should be mostly dry. Mostly dry with that. 18 again with high pressure more or less over top of country. That should be mostly dry as well. And then 9 just weakening the region a little bit with some lower pressure out to the Atlantic. So it's going to be a bit more showery, a little bit more lively. But if you put the 18 there together with the 24 there, clearly a very strong majority within the ECM ensembles in favour of anticyclonic weather at both day 10 and day 14-15. CFS Weeklies finally, these are 500 millibar height and lines bring down into week periods. The first week period will take us from the 29th of August, 4th of September. So the coming week will find the low pressure slipping southwards, high pressure building to our north and west, winds coming in from a northeasterly direction. So that brings the driest weather into the north and could be a little bit showery into the south. By week 2, though, all areas are under high pressure. It's the 5th to the 11th of September, a large ridge dominating over and slightly to the north up the country. Week 3 is going to be the 12th to the 18th of September. Again, with high pressure over slightly to the north of the country. That's going to be mostly dry and fine. The GavsWeatherVids autumn forecast is down the pan if that comes off. And week 4 will be the 19th, 25th of September. And high pressure goes on. So this could be a remarkably dry September if that comes off, actually. And a very warm September as well. Right, and of course, it's all very reminiscent of 2009, isn't it? Which is quite interesting, I suppose, if nothing else, from a winter point of view. But I haven't better say too much about that, other than to say winter updates will begin on Sunday, which is the 3rd of September. And as I said at the start of the video, we're going to premiere the first one at 2 PM. So I shall see you for the premiere for that at the weekend. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please can you like, share and subscribe. Make sure everybody do. Oh dear, my webcam's gone blurry. Not sure what's happened there. Never mind. I'll get the video wrapped up. Okay, so if you enjoyed the video, please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Don't get turned about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much for doing that. 6 or 7 subscribers, something like that, going to get us to 16.7k. We're very, very close to 16.7k. Please give us some. Thank you so much. I'll just tell you what's coming up tomorrow. We're going to have a 6 AM UK weather forecast. We will have, if that wasn't enough, the extended USA forecast, and we're going to be live streaming our 10 to 14 there at 6 PM. So I shall see you live for that one, for this video and for today's videos, though. So for now, and thanks for watching.